Okay, welcome everybody to our HEAL class, which is all about the pelvic floor. So if you are in your fourth trimester, if you have just had a baby, this is more of a class about moving well and trying to start to reconnect with your body and your pelvic floor. So it's more of movement rather than exercise. So if you're worried about, oh, I can't exercise before my 6 to 8 week checkup, if you are physically moving around, you are doing something, so you can absolutely do this class. This class is giving you permission to rest a little bit at the end and actually to put your feet up. And so you will see in the background of my video that I have set myself up so that I've got my legs up at the end and I've got my pregnancy pillow underneath that and a little footstool to lift myself up onto. You can do it on the bed or on the sofa or anything like that. So that will be how we're going to end. I'm going to start in sitting. Now, often when I've got my clients in front of me, when I'm teaching them how to do pelvic floor exercises, I will actually start them lying down because it is easier to do it lying down. But for the sake of this class, I want you to finish off super relaxed so that if you're watching this back, you can just slip off and hopefully finish off into a little bit of a sleep. So if you haven't already, go back, if you're watching this back, go back and watch my Zen Den video where I talk about the 5 senses and creating a nice environment for you to do your exercises in. And if you're not sure where to find that, then I can absolutely tag you in that. So this is my pelvis, ladies. I'm going to first of all get you into a nice comfortable position. So if you can be sat up onto something, it can be the sofa or a gym ball or a chair, but ideally you just want to sit so that you're comfortable. If you're comfortable on the floor, by all means stay where you are, but just make sure that you're nice and comfortable. So we're going to start off by just rolling our pelvis back so that we're sitting onto our sort of sacrum and coccyx. Now, if you've got a painful coccyx, that can be a little bit sore, but I want you to feel the range. So go from one range all the way up onto our posh sitting bones here. You're going to come down, roll onto your sort of sofa bones, as I like to call them, your sacrum, and then come up into your posh sitting bones. Now, you can do this if you find that you're getting quite stiff in your lower back, particularly if you're feeding. You can find that sitting down for prolonged periods of time, you might be a little bit uneven, like sitting maybe more on one buttock cheek than the other. So just doing this rocking of our pelvis back and forth can help to ease off any tension into our lower backs. Okay, and then I want you to do some circular motion. So you're going to come all the way around, forward, tilt back, and across. And just loosen off your lower back. If you had any sort of tears or cuts from a episiotomy or a C-section, be super gentle with yourself with this one. But actually feeling this gentle movement can help to release off any of those sort of adhesions of those tissues and get yourself moving nicely again. And then we're going to go back the other way. Now, sometimes we can feel way more coordinated in one direction than we do in the other. So just take yourself slowly into the other direction. Okay, find your neutral. Now, neutral is sitting on these posh sitting bones here and here, okay? So your ischial tuberosities are these bones here and here. And that's where we should be weight bearing through. But most of the time when we're slumped and we're sitting in what we call bad posture or sitting slumped on the sofa, we're actually putting weight through our sacrum and our coccyx, and that can actually over time be more uncomfortable, put more pressure through your coccyx. So I want you to sit up into your posh sitting bones, relax your shoulders, loosen off your back, and you can practice this if you've got your little ones in your hands as well. Just to, when you're sort of like rocking them to sleep, just practice just coming back and forth from here. Now in our posh sitting position, we're going to take a deep breath in and pop your hands onto your tummy and one onto your chest. And as you breathe in, I want your lower tummy to raise into your hands. And as you breathe out, let it come back in towards you. Breathe in and out. And breathe in again and out. Now you should feel as you breathe in that your tummy actually comes out with the breath in. And as you breathe out, it draws back in. A lot of the time we're breathing incorrectly and we suck in, and so we go and our tummy concaves in. But this is actually the opposite to what we want to happen, because you want your diaphragm to fall down to increase your lung volume as you breathe in. And as that happens, somewhere your abdominal content has to go, in which case it gently is pushed out. Okay, it's sort of a gentle rise out. Try not to actively push it, but you should feel it gently rise out. And then as you breathe out, it gently comes back in again. Your shoulders should stay relaxed. We are not finishing a sprint where we need to use our accessory muscles up here, but often we overuse them, okay? So just really make sure that you're not using your muscles. Your shoulders are nice and relaxed back. So give them a bit of a roll in between, just to loosen up your neck and your shoulders. And then take another deep breath in and out. Now, the reason that these breaths are so important is because this is the start of being able to activate our pelvic floor correctly. If we don't get this right and we are sucking in on the breath in instead of letting our tummy come out, our pelvic floor activation is going to be a bit muddled. So just really focus on 3 deep breaths in, raising your tummy out, and then as you breathe out, your tummy should gently fall back in again. And this is going to be the start of the activation in a minute, not yet. And as you breathe out, your tummy comes back in. One more deep breath in and out. Okay, the next time, when you breathe out, I want you to imagine that you're squeezing your back passage as if you're stopping wind. So only do it on the breath out. Okay, so breathe in, let your pelvic floor relax. And as you breathe out, squeeze your back passage just as if you're stopping wind, or I've mentioned it before, like you're sucking spaghetti through your back passage, which is a very strange analogy, but normally people know what I mean. Okay, so as you breathe in, relax. As you breathe out, squeeze and lift and draw your back passage in and up. Breathe in, let it go. Breathe out, squeeze and lift that back passage. So you shouldn't see any movement coming from your bottom. Your glutes aren't moving. We're not getting too much eyebrow action yet. Okay, it's just a really subtle drawing in and up. Then I want you to imagine that your pelvic floor here is like a hammock and a sling. So the next breath out, you're going to imagine that your pubic bone at the front and your coccyx at the back is drawing in together. They're kind of getting closer together as you're contracting these muscles in. Okay, so as you breathe in, you relax your tummy. And as you breathe out, you draw your coccyx and your pubic bone in towards each other. And then breathe in and let it all go again. Breathe out and draw them in and up. Breathe in and let it all go. So we've got a back passage working. We've got our hammock of our pelvic floor drawing in towards each other. Now, the next breath out, you are going to draw that up inside you. So breathe in and relax your tummy. And breathe out and work it all together. So you're imagining it's like an elevator lifting up inside you. Breathe in, let it go. Breathe out. Breathe in, let it go. Breathe out and draw it in. Now we should find that as you breathe out, your belly button draws in towards your spine and up towards your head. So this time, I want you to get your back passage working first, then the hammock, drawing it in, and then your tummy, your lower tummy should really draw towards your spine and up towards your head. Do it on the breath out so that you're not tempted to suck in. So breathe in and relax. Breathe out, draw it in. Breathe in and relax. Breathe out, draw it in. 2 more. Drop your shoulders. Really nice, guys. Well done. Okay, if you're happy with that, we are going to now see if we can hold it and breathe normally. Okay, so if you're still not sure, just focus on continuing what we've practiced just now. I'm going to keep progressing it, but I only want you to work with the level that you feel you can control. So roll your shoulders back again. Okay, take a deep breath in and raise your arms above your head. Give yourself a little bit of a wiggle and a stretch off. Okay, give yourself a little bit of rotation from side to side. Okay, are we ready? So exactly the same thing again. As you breathe in, you relax. As you breathe out, you draw everything in and up. Now I want you to breathe normally and see if you can hold it for the count of 10. Breathe in, breathe out, 9. Hold it, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now completely let it go and just check in with yourself. Were you still holding it or had you let it go earlier? Okay, and if you do let it go in between, I'm going to count a little bit quicker this time. If you do let it go in between, that doesn't matter. Just let it go completely and then re-engage it again. Okay, so we're going to go for the count of 10. So breathe in to prepare, breathe out and engage, and then breathe normally and hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, let it go. Breathe out and draw it in again. Now breathe normally. So breathe in and out as you would normally, but just try and hold it again for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax it. Well done. So this is building up a little bit more endurance. So you're going to do this another couple of times. So breathe in to prepare, breathe out, and then breathe normally. And we're aiming again for the count of 10. Okay. And as we go, we should be able to hold this well and relax. And then we get a bit more activity going on throughout the classes. Okay, so breathe in again, prepare, and breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax. Okay, one more, and then we're going to do fast ones. Okay, breathe in to prepare, breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Breathe in, let it go. Oh, good work. Okay, let's imagine that we've got an elevator now. Okay, so ground floor is the base level. The basement is if you were straining. Okay, so I don't want you to strain. Basement is actually pushing yourself down lower. So maybe if you were having a poo, you might end up straining a little bit if you're constipated, but again, it's not our ideal to be straining. The only time that you really are straining is when you are doing a vaginal delivery. And obviously, that is where sometimes we can get some of the pain and problems with pelvic floor. So we don't really want to be pushing down, but so that you know what I mean, the basement is when you're pushing, but we're staying at ground level is when we're completely relaxed. Okay, and then we're going to go up the elevator, and level 10 is like really, really hard. I mean, it's very hard to control level 10 for very long. We probably sit around a level 4 or a 5 with most things that we do, maybe taking ourselves up to a level 6 or a 7 if we cough, sneeze, or anything like that, and maybe a bit higher if we're jumping. Okay, so 9. All right, but we're going to practice now sitting down, working our way up and down the elevator. So you're going to breathe in, and then as you breathe out, you're going to take yourself to level 5, and then you're going to come back down again as you breathe in again to ground 0. So you're not going all the way up to 10, you're just coming a little bit to level 5, and then you're coming back down to ground 0. So let's see if we can go level 5, and let's just squeeze a little bit more to 6, 7, back down to 5, to 0. Now, sometimes you'll find, oh, I think I'm activating it, but I can't control how high I go. That's absolutely fine if you're only just new to this, but this is where we're practicing. We're going to aim to see if we can come all the way up the scale and back down again. So come up to level 5 and then come back down. 3, 2, 1. Come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to go to the level 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to 5, 6, 5. Back to 6, 7. Back to 5. And then hold it at 5 and then come back down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so these are more that you can play with and practice. And now we're going to practice going up and down quite quickly. So we're going to come up to 1, down. Level 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last time. Going to about level 5 each time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Okay, let's wiggle off those hips. If this is the first time you're doing these, particularly if you're early postnatal, just be aware that it's like any other muscle and it's got an endurance, and you may find that this is starting to fatigue a little bit. So I want you to now lay yourself down. If you want to, I can see some of you standing up and wiggling around. So if you want to have a good old wiggle before you get yourself comfortable on the floor, but I would like you to lay down onto the floor now, or onto the pillows, onto the sofa, and I want you to raise your legs up into a seated position. Sorry, with a legs raised position. So I've got my pregnancy pillow underneath here. Now, a lot of people end up chucking it after they've had a baby, but this is such a good bit of kit for postnatal as well. So I've used it to create a little bit of a donut almost in my pillow, in my pillows. And then I've just used a little footstool here, but you can use the edge of your sofa, or if you're laying in bed, make sure that you're comfortable and you've got something soft underneath your coccyx. Because if you're laying in bed, then you might want to pop your legs up onto some cushions on bed as well. Okay. Oh, this feels so good, ladies. I hope that you are comfortable. Now, just by lifting our legs up, we take gravity off our pelvic floor. Now, you spend so much time either with weight going through your pelvic floor, so either sitting or standing, carrying little ones in the sling, maybe sort of juggling them around, or even if you've got toddlers, I still find that I spend so much time on my feet, and I very rarely actually lie down and elevate my legs up. The only times that you don't do this too much, or you can still lift your legs up, but you don't lift your hips up as well, is if you're currently menstruating and you're bleeding, or if you are pregnant and it feels uncomfortable to be laying with your pelvis tilted up. But I have put some cushions underneath my hips so that my hips are now tilted up towards the ceiling. So you can, if you are pregnant or menstruating, you can still have your legs raised, but you just take the cushions away from underneath your hips so that you're not tilted your pelvis up. So in this position, rock your pelvis back and forth, just to really ease off any tension, just like we did in the sitting position. You'll notice that I do this a lot to get our lumbar and our pelvis just dissociating, moving a little bit back and forth. Okay, and just like we did when we were sat down, we are going to pop our hands onto our lower tummy, and you can pop one onto your sort of underneath your bra line, onto your lower ribs. And you're going to take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe in, let any tension go through your tummy, and particularly between your adductors, which is the inner thighs. and let go of any tension around your pelvis and your pubic area. And if you want to kind of almost sort of massage your legs a little bit just to let go of any tension there, because sometimes we don't even realize we're holding it. I literally put my feet a little bit closer together and let my knees drop out to really ease off the tension through there. Okay, and then I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Oh, I'm so sorry about that, guys. I could feel a sneeze coming on, so I just took the headphones away. I hope you didn't hear that. So keep breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Okay, so the next time on the breath out, we're going to practice what we were doing in sitting. So you're just going to squeeze your back passage as if you are stopping wind coming out. And really practice the drawing in and up of your back passage. And then exactly the same as we did when we were lying, when we were sitting down, with our pubic bone at the front and our coccyx at the back, I want you to imagine that you're drawing them in closer together as you breathe out. And then breathe in and let it go completely. Just to ground level. We're not pushing in basement, we're just going to ground level. And then breathe out and squeeze those two together and draw it in and up inside you. And breathe in and let it go. And breathe out again. And breathe in and let it go. And just want you to focus in your own time with your own breath on just engaging it and then completely letting it go again. One of the problems that we have is actually don't let it go. And we're so worried about having a weak pelvic floor with postnatal and after babies. But actually, it's not always that we're weak, it's that we don't fully go through our full range of movement and we don't let go of our pelvic floor. And so we're constantly in that slightly raised. So if you imagine an elevator, you're almost constantly in, I don't know, a level 3 or a level 4 or a level 5, and you don't let yourself go all the way down to ground level and then draw yourself all the way back up again appropriately. So it's really good. In this position now, we should be able to safely go completely to ground level without any worries or concerns of not holding in your bladder or any pain or anything like that. So you should be able to fully relax in this position. Now I want you to do 10-second holds. So you're going to draw yourself up and you're going to hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and breathe in and let it go. And breathe out and squeeze and lift. So you're breathing normally with this one. So you're not holding your breath, but you're able to hold your pelvic floor for the count of 10. Keep going. We've got about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep breathing normally, and on your next breath in, let it go. Tummy should rise up. Breathe out and engage again. We're going to go to about a level 7. See if you can squeeze a little bit more to about a level 7. Keep it holding there as you breathe in and out normally. Hold your pelvic floor for another 5, 4, 3, 2. On your next breath in, let it go. Another 2 of those. So squeeze and lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it go. Okay, one more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let it go. Okay, if you can, we're going to do some quick fire ones. So we're just going to squeeze, relax, relax. Okay, ready? Off you go. Squeeze, relax. So this isn't with the breath. This is just separate to the breath. Just see if you can engage your back passage in and then let it go. And then let it go. Once you've done your 10, completely relax off there. Now you might find if you're not used to doing your pelvic floor exercises, that actually spending this amount of time really focused on them and doing them can almost feel like a muscle ache. A little bit like, I remember the first time I really started to work my pelvic floor and do these exercises, I almost felt like a little bit of a period pain ache, like that sort of really dull ache around your lower abdomen and around your pelvic floor. And that can just be because the muscles are actually being used and a little bit mimicking those when they're slightly cramping. So don't overdo it, but if you do get a little bit of a dull ache afterwards, that may be what it is. It's a little bit of fatigue from those muscles working. So by all means, if you want to, next time you watch this video back, you can just do it in this position from the word go. And you can go through exactly the same exercises that we did at the beginning, but doing them in this position where you're laid on your back. For now though, I just want you to relax. You've done a lot of work, and particularly if you are early postnatal, I'm really targeting that pelvic floor. So I want you to now focus on just feeling nice and relaxed. So just work on your breath and let go of any tension that you're holding in your pelvic floor. As you breathe in, really let your abdominals relax into your hands and raise up towards the ceiling. And out. 1. Last 2 breaths. Now, if you are comfortable in this position, please do feel free to absolutely stay where you are. This is such a nice resting position, and we don't do it enough, mamas. We don't actually sit and put our feet up and rest enough. And call it your physio, call it your exercise class. I am giving you permission to rest and put your feet up. It is so nourishing and healing for your pelvic floor to give yourself the opportunity to do this. So feel free to stay where you are. I'm going to just come up now and stop the recording. Please do comment in the chat box on our membership page or down below. Let us know how you found that class today. And if you do have any questions, let me know. Thank you for joining us if you're watching this back, and I'll see you soon.